Oh man, this is the truth behind the makings of "To Live and Die in L.A." The Tupac song. I mean, is it true he made the song in one day? Absolutely. But people is like, man, like where did he get the motivation from? To make the song "To Live and Die in L.A." He just came up with the lyrics in like no time. What happened was Tupac, and the reason people are like, well, how you know all this? I know people that's like Tupac's people, you know what I'm saying? Like they know him. Like not the Machiavelli and all that. They know him. So Tupac had never seen the movie "To Live and Die in L.A." And it was on VHS. And I forgot what day it was. And God, but anyway, long story short, the movie "To Live and Die in L.A." is a classic movie about probably one of the best movies ever made in Los Angeles. And Tupac loved it. To Live and Die in L.A. I didn't even know this movie existed. He was freaking out like the title is sick. To Live and Die in L.A. I'm going to make an album titled "To Live and Die in L.A." Just L.A. life. He's like, it'll be sick. So he was talking about this weeks before he ever went into making the song. Because he had just saw the movie, and when they put it, they had the VCR and everything, they played it. And he watched the movie at the crib, and people were talking about it, and he loved it. He loved that. He loved that movie. Because for people who don't know, "To Live and Die in L.A." was the first movie I've ever seen, probably the world has ever seen, a movie in which you were vested in the star character of the movie. And spoiler alert, he dies about an hour into the movie. So you're like, what? The person I've been watching, the hero of the movie, died in like the first hour of the movie. Then for the rest of the movie, you gotta watch the sidekick run the show and close it out. And it was crazy because you would never saw that coming. And it fit with the theme, to live and die in L.A. He wasn't a perfect person at all. It was the story about two cops. They trying to go undercover to stop this drug ring and this thing that's going on. And the one cop, he's kind of crooked in the way. He's just a regular cop in L.A. He do some dirty stuff. He do some good stuff. But he bends the rules to fit whatever he needed to fit. But they finna take down this drug dealer or whatever who's killing people or whatever, and one of their shakedowns go wrong, and the star of the movie gets blown away. And this is an hour in it. It's not like Scream or something like with Drew Barrymore die, or Dress to Kill with what's her name, Angie Dickinson dying in the first couple of minutes. That's norm. Do you invest it in these characters, meaning that you were interested to see like where's this going, how they gonna make it out of this. You invested to see how this is gonna end. This is the star. Right now he do CSI and all that stuff, but the movie is incredible. So anyway, Tupac, he's hanging out with QD3. That's Quincy Jones' son. And he's hanging out with him because he's a producer. And the reason why he's hanging out with him is because he's dating Quincy Jones' daughter. So, you know, he's not with Death Row, but he was allowed to produce on the album. You know, so that was it. And the guy who did, I think, Toss 'Em Up was the only other outside guy. But anyway, he got this hook that came off this beat. And Pac loved it. And Pac wanted him to change the keyboards and the guitar and have it done live. Have somebody come in and play it. And QD3 didn't understand why, but it's done for commercial reasons. If you do it that way, you don't have to pay sampling credits. You know, if you know, sampling it hits you in the pockets. But if you can get somebody to play the keys anyway, just play it. You get somebody to play it, you can save yourself a lot of money from sampling. So they figured this out on All Eyes on Me. So going into this album, you know, he came up with the melody, they looped it up and finished it in a couple of hours. He had the beat ready. Pac already had his lyrics ready for the song, and his whole thing was to make another California Love. But he was going to do it without Dr. Dre. You know, that was like, I can make a California Love. You know, just one that's dedicated to all of California, and just, we'll make a better one. And the thing was to live and die in L.A. because it was fresh on his mind. He had just saw the movie, and it just flowed. And he told Val what the hook was gonna be. To live and die in LA is the place to be. He went in the booth, dropped it, came out, told Val, Val, I want you to come in on this. See these keys here? I want you to come in on them. And she was just, one time, and boom, it was dropped. It was dropped. And that's why it flows so perfect. He did it all basically one take. The song was done in about 2-3 hours. Done, complete. They did a radio version, and the rest is history. To Live and Die in LA. Another hit. And it was officially the first single off of Machiavelli, the way Tupac wanted it to be. But people was like, nah, Toss It Up was added to the Machiavelli album. Toss It Up wasn't supposed to be on the Machiavelli album. Toss It Up was actually on a movie soundtrack. And because it was done for the movie soundtrack, and was not going to be on Machiavelli's album. It was just a video they made, and they was going to put it in the movie, and that was that. And I think it was going to be on Gang Related or one of those movie soundtracks, and made niggas end up making that song. And Tossed It Up ended up being in limbo, but they already had the video set up for Toss It Up, and they just threw it on Machiavelli. Like, well, might as well put it on Machiavelli now. But Pac had these videos done, and he had recorded, they were getting ready to put out these DVDs that was going to have, like, make records and videos for all the songs that they did and put them out for the public to keep the interest out there. Something that 50 Cent picked up on and started doing with his albums. He started making videos for all the songs on there, so you'll get the DVD with the videos on there. That was the Tupac concept, and that's what he was doing when he was going back later and started doing like It's All About You, and then he did he was going to do My Ambitions as a Rider, and he was going to do a video for all of them, but he didn't get a chance to do it yet. But he wanted to go back since the album was so successful. He's like, we're going to go ahead and make videos for all of them, then we're going to just sell the videos ourselves so people can just buy and own the videos. You know, instead of you waiting around hoping they show your video, you know, that way you take control of it. All Pac ideas, you know, he was a visionary. You know, they praise Steve Jobs and all that, but Tupac was a visionary too. He's very open-minded to new ideas. So there were some of the things about him that people just focused on the negative, and they focused on the negative energy, and that's why you see most of the Tupac fans who knew him, that hit him up song wound up being his curse, and that's what he was like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It needed to be done, I felt, you know, but in the end it was like, yeah, shouldn't have did that one, because it started to irritate him. When he was trying to do his new records and people were asking him to hit him up, he was getting pissed. You know, so, yeah, he's a very emotional guy. But that's it. Y'all got a lot of information on this one. To live and die in L.A., Tupac.